All right, so Anthony, tell me a little bit about your practice and your experience with ChrisAd. I know we worked together for a number of years, but yeah, tell me a little bit about what.
Well, I'm Dr. Anthony Youssef. I have a practice, Mountainside Family Dentistry, out in Portland, Oregon. And we started with ChrisAd mid 2018, I believe. And it's been great. It's been great. Before ChrisAd, I had a lot of state patients and had a contract with a company called Advantage Dental. So, and I was pretty low on PPO and private patients. That contract was coming to an end, so I kind of had to make a decision of getting a little bit more marketing and deciding which way to take the practice. Do I want to take different types of state patients? And so decided it was time. I had a friend of mine who had a really successful practice that uses ChrisAd, and the ChrisAd flyer showed up on my table also. So, you know, with that referral and the timing was right, signed up and, you know, kind of dove in on the deep end of all the recommendations, followed the recommendations as best as I could. And it's been really good. You know, we've seen amazing growth. We went, you know, we're above 1 million now in a very short time. And, you know, that's even without expanding, you know, expanding primetime hygiene and availability as much as I should have. We still saw really great success. And we're just about to almost double the schedule here pretty soon. Starting November, in just a couple months, we're opening up the schedule and adding a ton more appointments and really diving into that end of the expansion. But, you know, I read through all of the data that came with the initial packets and the initial proposal from ChrisAd. Everything from, you know, primetime hours to how you answer the phones, to the trainings, to how you manage co-pays and all these different things. And everything is backed by data. And when you really sit down, makes a lot of sense. Some of it's a little bit hard to swallow when you don't understand, and some people may have a reaction to that. But when you really look at the long-term effect, it really makes a big difference. You know, for example, and I have live examples. So charging co-pays on cleanings, for example. I had a guy come in, and he ended up needing an SRP, a deep cleaning, and you know, when we told him we weren't going to charge him a copay, he told us that his wife just had a deep cleaning at another office, and she had to pay a copay there. And guess what? They're both my patients now. So, and you don't, you know, you can't put, you can't really gauge that type of experience to show that, but because you might say, oh, well, you're not charging him a copay, you lose $150 or $200. Well, you just picked up his wife as a patient, and he trusts you more and is going to do treatment with you, and all of a sudden you've gained $2,000. So you've lost 200, but you've gained 2,000, and that's the numbers that are kind of hard to show, but that really show in your overall production over the next few years as you really implement the changes. You know, putting people in prime time hours so that they don't, you know, you have less cancellations. Just trusting the data, you know, and it's been a really educating and even on top of that, to me, you know, the growth is great and but there's something that most people don't talk about to do with ChrisAd is that a lot of what they recommend you do is what I've always wished to do, which is counterintuitive. So for example, don't present huge treatment plans. Don't tell a patient you need $15,000 worth of work, you know. That's counterintuitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want them to stay on the smaller amounts. And for a conservative dentist, or even for dentists coming out of dental school who wants to do, you know, that's a good thing. Because it feels good for you, because you don't have to be stressed about presenting these big treatment plans. The patients love it because they're not getting these obnoxious treatment plans. And it turns out that that's best for your practice growth as well.
Because they stay. They stay in the practice.
They stay in the practice, they do the treatment, and then when they come back, you know, they come back for their cleanings every 6 months. If you do find something else, then you add it on, you know, and it works really, really well. So, you know, telling, again, some of the things that aren't really expressed about, for example, not charging copays. Patients are so much happier. They're so much more pleasant. Your front desk and your hygienist gets to interact with pleasant patients because you just told them, hey, you need a deep cleaning, but guess what? We're not going to charge you for it. You know, you don't have to pay anything. All of a sudden, you have a happy patient talking to your hygienist. You have a happy patient talking to your front desk. Your whole day is different because everybody's had a positive experience. And then combine that with those things causing your practice to grow. It's all good all around. So it really was a blessing to see that that these things that are good for patients are also good for you. And you just gotta kind of, the way my friend described it to me is, it really is like, you just gotta take a blind dive and follow, you know, you gotta open up, which is something I've been bad at, is opening up your schedule to what looks like an empty schedule, and it just fills in. I mean, it really does. And so just following all the guidelines that they recommend, it works. So
Yeah.
that's
well.
only good things to say. And here I have Matt Angel is my rep, and he's been great. And we have a lot of good dinners and good chats, and
We do.
Only good things to say about you as well.
I appreciate you, man. It's so great. I mean, for a 3-chair practice to be where you're at $1 million, and where you're about to go with expanding more chairs is really remarkable. You got a lot to be proud of, man.
Thank you.
Thank you for sitting down. Appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Alrighty. Take care, pal.
Appreciate it.